It looks something like this.
Say we're filming Princess Leia, and you got your Leia buns in honor of it, huh? All right, let's show everyone how it's done. We're gonna do Princess Leia hair and makeup. Okay, bye, see you later. Okay, so yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're doing Princess Leia hair and makeup. And Kenny, she just had to be like Mama today, you know? Technically, she is Leia. For those of you who don't know, Matt is the voice of Anakin Skywalker on Star Wars The Clone Wars. So Anakin is actually Darth Vader, and Darth Vader is Leia's dad. So yeah, it's a family thing. All right, I'm gonna show you how it's done. I'm looking for a photo here for inspiration, guys, because I'm doing makeup first before we do hair. I've already parted my hair directly down the center, but this is the photo that I'm using for inspiration. And honestly, she doesn't have a whole lot of makeup on, which makes this very easy for everybody involved. And Leia is such a common costume. Like I don't think in my entire lifetime I've ever had a Halloween where I didn't see a Princess Leia costume. I feel like it's just one you always see. Anyway, so for eyeshadow, if you look at her pictures up close, it's pink. And that's it, and it's from lash line into the crease, and a little bit of shimmer under there. So what our biggest thing is to get our brows to look more like hers, and honestly, she doesn't have a whole lot of brow going on. So yeah, so let's start with eyes first. I'm just gonna prep and prime my lid. I'm gonna start with using some concealer to cancel out my dark circles. This is Charlotte Tilbury. This is, what is this? I'll link it below. I don't know the exact name of it, but this is her peach corrector, and it's incredible. And also I'm gonna correct this thing on my nose when I get to my face, because I have a war wound right there where my husband injured me. I was gonna see if he was gonna yell. No, he didn't hurt me. I just wanted to blame it on you. I did it myself. I scratched myself on accident, and I just wanted to blame someone else for it. Okay, so all I'm doing is correcting my dark circles. And you have to do this first. And I'm not going to blend it in. I'm just going to apply it wherever it's dark. And then I'm gonna take some concealer. There we go. I'm gonna use this as my lid primer. And I'm just gonna dot it on. This is the cool thing about this costume, is that honestly, there's nothing makeup-wise or hair-wise that you don't already have to do this at home. And all you need is the actual white dress itself. That's it. I'm not up on my nerddom, so I'm gonna ask Matt really quick. When she's in the white costume, does she have a lightsaber? And the long white dress?
No, babe, she doesn't have a lightsaber ever.
She's not Jedi, is she?
No, she's not a Jedi. She's got a blaster pistol.
A blaster pistol. That's what I need for this then, right?
Well, yeah.
I'm just wearing a white turtleneck sweater because she's always wearing a turtleneck. Anyways, okay. So that's done. All you need is a pink blush for your lids. And her blush on her cheeks is actually a little bit, no, it might be the same color actually. They didn't really go all out for this makeup, did they? It was the 70s, guys. Was Star Wars a low-budget film?
It wasn't. I mean,
it wasn't like a big blockbuster like it is now, right?
No.
So the white costume, the white dress that she's wearing, and with the buns, the one that I'm doing, is this the first Star Wars?
That we saw her like this?
Yeah, episode 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm assuming then that they had a lot less money for that movie than they did all the sequels, right?
Yeah.
You should just be on camera answering Star Wars questions. I found the perfect shade. Okay, this is Colourpop in Thumper. This is the Super Shock Cheek. And this color is amazing. I'm just gonna use my finger actually. And do you see how pigmented it is? I love Colourpop products for this reason. So I'm just gonna take it and pat it all over my lid. And once I get it really good on my lid, I'll take a brush and work it up into my crease. Because this cheek, Super Shock Cheek, which is the blush, is cream, it's really easy to work with your fingers. So I didn't even need a brush. But what I'm gonna do now is take a highlighter and apply it to my brow bone. I'm gonna use the Essence. This is the pre-nude highlighter in Be My Highlight. And just gonna put it right under my brow bone. This makeup is so simple. Honestly, you could glam it up so much and make it look so pretty if you wanted to, which I'm super tempted to do, but we're gonna go with a traditional Leia look. And if you guys wanna see like a more glam Leia, like the new, Matt had this idea, but the new Leia Barbie, we have her and she's amazing. Let us know in the comments. But the thing that I'm noticing in this picture is that she's got a ton of highlight right here on the inner corner of her eye. What's really interesting is when you look back at movie makeup over the years, a lot of the stuff that we do for everyday makeup now that feels like really new is stuff that the makeup artists were doing in movies, even like way back when, which obviously in black and white movies you couldn't really tell, but like white lining or white liner on your waterline was super, super common in the 40s and 50s. Like Marilyn Monroe, actually that was one of her beauty secrets. But then I never heard about that growing up really until, you know, when YouTube became a thing. Okay, so that's it. That's all we're doing eyeshadow wise. She has liner only on the lower lash line, nothing on the upper lash line. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this is a liner brush right here, and I'm gonna use a dark brown. This is from my Natasha Denona palette, the mini nude palette. Honestly, this palette is incredible. And I'm gonna apply this just to the lower lash line. This is super pigmented, so it's gonna give me exactly the effect that I want. And I'm gonna get in really, really tight to that lash line for like a little bit of a smoky effect. And they carried it all the way into the inner lash line, but not past the tear duct, just right up to the edge of the tear duct. So that's what I'm doing. Now that we have that done, we're gonna throw on a thin coat of mascara because honestly, when I'm looking at this picture, I don't even really notice that she has lashes on the top lid. I see them more on the lower lid, which I think is really interesting. If she's wearing any false lashes at all, I would be shocked to hear that because this picture does not make it look like she does have any on, is what I'm trying to say. So just applying mascara to the upper and lower lashes. To make my eye shape look a little bit more like hers, because she has more almond eyes, which I have almond eyes, but hers are really almond. I'm taking my mascara and I'm moving all of my lashes to the outside corner like this, which is gonna help change the illusion of my eye shape. Obviously, it's not gonna change my eye shape, but it's gonna make my eyes look like they're shaped a little bit different. So I'm just taking the wand, starting at the lash root, wiggling it up to the top, and then over to the outside corner. And that helps drag the lashes over that direction. I'm so not used to seeing myself with only lower eyeliner on. It's really odd. Okay, while the mascara is drying, let's move on to the face and then we'll come back to the eyebrows. In case you don't know this, if you mess up with your mascara and you hit your lid or whatever, don't immediately clean it up. Let it sit there, let it dry, because once it's dry on your skin, it'll flake right off. But if you wipe it off while it's wet or even a little bit tacky, it's gonna smear. So just don't do that. So we're gonna go ahead and do the skin. I primed my skin first, which if you are new to makeup, and if you're watching this you're watching my channel for the first time, maybe you are new to makeup, what you wanna do is prime your skin first so that your makeup actually lasts longer. I primed with a Farsali unicorn serum. It's like unicorn essence, sorry. It's like my favorite. I actually don't have it right here. I used it upstairs in my bathroom before I came down. But primer is really important because it does really help your makeup last. And if you're dressing up for Halloween and this is a costume, or even maybe you're using this tutorial because you're gonna go to a con of some sort, prime your skin first, and you can get primer anywhere, drugstore, Sephora, wherever, because like I said, you want your makeup to last. So I'm gonna go with a little bit of a lighter foundation. This is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation in number 6, and as my regular followers know, I love to apply bronze drops to make myself look bronzer, but Leia is not bronze, so we're going to skip that step. I'm just buffing out my foundation now with my brush, and whatever you do to your face, you want to do to your neck. So take whatever's on your brush and then work it down to your jawline and then down to your neck. You want a seamless, flawless application, and you don't want to see where your makeup begins and ends, so that's why we do that. So to get a more perfect application, I'm gonna use a beauty sponge. This is one I picked up at the drugstore in Canada. The brand is called Quo, I think, Quo. It's a duplicate for a beauty blender, and honestly, it does a great job. You do not use this one damp like you do a beauty blender, which I thought was really interesting. So what I'm doing though is I'm just taking it and I'm pushing my foundation into my skin so that if I have any open pore, fine lines, scars, whatever, this is going to push that down into those crevices and give you more of a flawless canvas for finishing off your makeup look. And as you notice, I did put the foundation on my lips. I just took whatever was on the brush and then brushed it over my lips. I do that because I'm going to change the shape of my lips. So, just so you know. Let's go ahead and do some concealer under the eyes. She doesn't have a whole lot of concealer going on, so I'm just gonna lightly apply some. I'm using my Dermablend concealer. I love this concealer. It's incredible quality, and it really lasts. I'm gonna take, I'm throwing brushes now. I found a concealer brush here and just tap that into my under eye area and then just feather it out. As you can see, it's just really light tapping and it blends it perfectly. Do the same thing on this side. And then what I'm gonna do now is take a translucent powder and just tap it all over my face because we're not doing any bronzer anywhere. First, I'm gonna take a little bit of a banana shade. This is from Essence. I'm gonna use my sponge actually and tap that right under the eye. Keep that under eye area looking bright with the banana color. And then I'm gonna go in with a translucent powder and dust it all over my face so that my makeup stays put. So I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish and then my Airbrush brush from Sephora, which I love. And I'm just gonna dust this all over my face. I don't typically powder my whole face, but in this case I'm going to. Now that I have my face set, I'm gonna go back in with this brush with my brown and just drag it under my lower lash line again. I want my inside corner to really pop because that's the one thing that's standing out to me is the inside corners of her eyes in this picture. You can really see. So I'm taking the white shimmery shade. It's not white, it's like more of a nude in this palette. Any white shimmery eyeshadow will do. And I'm gonna tap that right there on the inside corner. Her face is super matte in all these photos that I'm seeing, but the one thing I'm noticing is her freckles. And I have freckles, but they're not gonna show through my foundation. So what I'm gonna do, which leads me to believe that she's got a very, very thin layer of foundation on. I'm taking an eyeliner brush, this is damp, and I'm gonna go in with the matte brown eyeshadow that I used under my lower lash line. And I'm gonna use her picture as a map here and kind of just throw some freckles on my nose, which is funny because I naturally have freckles. So these are really dark. I don't know if you guys can see them or not. I did that on purpose because it's a whole lot easier to tone it down than it is to keep adding to it. So I'm just taking my powder brush. Okay, so the eyes were looking a little bit boring, so I just did the exact same thing to the upper lid as I did the lower. I'm just taking the liner brush and a matte brown and smoking it out. Okay, the last thing that we have for this look, there's two things. We have lips and brows. So I'm just using a matte brown shadow. Hair's falling out. Let's see. And we're gonna mimic her eyebrow shape. It's very droopy, so I'm gonna just take it from the bottom, change the shape of my brow just a tiny bit. So I'm taking a little bit of the arch out of my brow by doing that and just making it more of a hump than a V, because my brow naturally has a V shape to it. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And for lips, she has just an orangey red gloss is what it looks like. I don't see any liner, I don't see any real definition. It's just her natural lip shape. So the thing that I'm gonna do is use a nude liner and kind of recreate her lip shape, which she has a very full bottom lip. So I'm gonna take Nude Whisper from Maybelline and just fill in my lower lid or lip and make it more full than mine. So I'm just overlining on the outside corners and then underneath the lower lip so that it's just a little bit bigger than mine. And then her upper lip is kind of simple and that there's not a deep cupid's bow there. So I'm just gonna use my natural lip line for that. So I'm putting the emphasis really on my lower lip. And then I'm using this red, it's like a reddy orange shade from Sigma. It's a liquid lipstick. It's in Venom is the color. And I'm gonna dab that on the back of my hand because it's pretty dark. I'm gonna do it with a nude lip topper from Joah, which I love. And I'm putting them on my hand side to side, or side by side I should say, like that. And I'm just gonna use my finger to mix the two together to get the shade that I want, and then tap it on. I'm doing that because it's gonna create more of a stain than a lipstick, and that's exactly what her lips look like. So now that I toned down the lip color, I'm gonna go back with this sheer lip gloss. It's a lip topper, like I said, from Joah, and apply it on top. It's a little bit more pink than her picture is. Her picture is more orange. And you can correct that with an orange based lipstick if you want. I'm gonna add a little bit. I actually like the pink personally because I think it plays well with the eyes. And then what I'm gonna do is take my blush brush and just apply a little bit of this pink blush that we put on our lids. Her blush really starts back and works up. I have a different face shape than she does, obviously. There you go, there's your makeup. Let's do hair now. All right, so I took one of my ponytails out, and what I'm gonna do is add in a couple of extensions because Leia's buns are really thick, and although I have a lot of hair, I don't have crazy thick hair. So I'm just teasing to add a base for my extensions to clip into. I just have clip-in extensions here, as you can see. And I'm gonna add 2, maybe 3 tracks, we'll see. And the reason I'm doing this is just to give my buns a little bit of thickness. I like thick buns and I cannot lie. I did a total of 3 tracks of extensions, and that's why there's a little bit of a bump. And then I just use a clear elastic band and I put it right here directly behind my ear. So I'm gonna take the thicker end of my comb and just add a little bit of volume by back combing throughout my hair. And then I'm gonna take and twist forward like this so that it's gonna cover my ear. And I wanna take that right there and tuck that. Do you see? Because I don't want it to have a hump. And I'm gonna start connecting with bobby pins. So all it is a twist. It's a pretty good sized twist too. So every about half an inch or so along the twist, I'm gonna put a bobby pin in to make sure that it's anchored real well. There's no such thing as too many bobby pins when it comes to a style like this. Okay, so that's a really good shape right there. So I'm gonna keep twisting till I come around, and then I've got this little tail. And I'm gonna keep pinning it as I go. And then as I get to here, I'm going to turn it and then tuck the end in so that it's covering. I'm gonna twist it a little bit better first. Twist it all the way to the end, tuck it so that it goes under and it covers my hair tie. And then I'm going to start pinning that tuck into place. And I'm pinning up and under as well to really hold it into place. And there you go, you got a Leia bun. It's a pretty good Leia bun if I do say so myself. And if you have any bobby pins that are slipping out, you can spray a little bit of hairspray on your bobby pin before you put it in, and it'll help it kind of anchor. And then also you can anchor them by crossing them in a V. Just a couple of bobby pin 101 tips. Once we get this up, we'll smooth this down, but really a drop of pomade will hold that down and give it that really perfect smooth look, and then a little bit of hairspray. So let's go ahead and move on to this side. I'm gonna just copy that exact same thing. All right, got the Leia buns done. This one's a little bit not as full as this one because I have 3 tracks on this side and only 2 tracks on this side. So as you can see, it's a little bit a little bit thinner on the backside. So I would say that if you're gonna recreate this, use the same amount of hair on each side so that they're even. I do have to also keep tucking in my bobby pins. The reason is that I used bobby pins that are straight, and I actually like the ones that have the ridges, like the teeth on them. I think that they hold better. These straight ones don't hold as well. That's for dang sure. But overall, I feel like my buns are pretty right on, and I think my makeup is as well. I took my turtleneck and I just tucked it in to give it more of that Leia collar look, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. Again, just use a little bit of pomade right there on your crown and get your flyaways to sit, and then spray it real good with hairspray, and that's it. But overall, here you go. This is the most authentic Leia recreation you're gonna get hair and makeup wise. I mean, I looked at her photos and I copied it exactly the way that they were. So I hope you enjoyed this. Again, let me know if you want to see like a more glam Leia, for anyone who's gonna do any like Barbie meets Leia. Actually, have you guys seen the new Barbie that's Leia? The Star Wars Barbies are so cool. We have all 3 of them. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you want to see from me next. I have at least one more Halloween tutorial that I'm gonna film for y'all this season. It'll probably be up next, I'm thinking. And it's a fun one. It's one that I've been wanting to do for a couple of years that I haven't gotten around to. But I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know in the comments what you want to see from me next after Halloween. And don't forget to visit me on my blog, angelalanter.com. All right, guys, love you so much, and thank you for watching. Au revoir. I mean, technically, she'd be Leia, right? She's Anakin's daughter? Is that right, Daddy? Yeah. You are Leia! You are Princess Leia! Here, you want to comb Mommy's hair? Comb Mommy's hair. Here. Thank you. So pretty. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, tell everybody hi. Say hi. Is that your lightsaber?